guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually really exciting. I was so excited to film it. It is a drugstore prom makeup tutorial. So in this video, I use all drugstore products. The only thing that's not drugstore is my brushes and my beauty blender. And the reason is because I have so many brushes here at home. I didn't really want to go out of my way and purchase more brushes. I'm sure there's a lot of great drugstore brushes, but in my opinion, my favorite brushes are Sigma, Morphe. I would say that those are my top two. Sigma and Morphe are my favorite brushes, and they're actually really affordable. I would say if you wanted to splurge on certain products and keep it more high-end, I would definitely splurge on like a primer, like a foundation primer, and brushes. Brushes and foundation primer are my two things that I think are really important, so I like to keep those high end. But in this video, I'm trying some of these products out for the first time, and some I absolutely love. So if you want to know how to get this look right here for prom, or for any occasion really, just keep on watching. So for foundation, I am using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte. This is in shade 102. I've never tried this foundation. I've heard good things about it. It's actually my sister's, so I'm hoping this shade works for me. My skin is super sensitive, so I'm praying that it's not going to make me break out into a ginormous pimple. So putting the product onto the back of my hand and taking a damp beauty blender, I'm just going to pat this all into my skin. It actually feels really good. I know like I just put it on, but I was expecting it to like feel chalky or something. This foundation is a little light for me, but that's okay. I'm just gonna have to bronze it up. I'm really surprised at how full coverage this foundation is. It's actually really nice. I really like it. Bringing it down to the neck region since it is a little bit lighter. I'm really hoping that this does not make me break out because I really like it. Now I'm taking the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind eraser. This is a dark circle eraser. It's just like a concealer. I've actually used this before and I really like it, so no surprises here. And then just blending that out with this beauty blender. And I'm bringing that concealer up and placing that on my lid because we're gonna be using the concealer as like an eyeshadow base for our eyeshadow. Now I'm taking the NYX HD Studio Finishing Powder. This is just like a translucent color, and the Morphe E48 brush, and I'm just doing a light dust all over my face. I've tried this powder before. It's very interesting. I really liked it the first time I used it, so we'll see if I feel the same this time, but the texture of it is so weird. Like it almost is like I'm putting nothing on my face. Just like the powder itself is so light and airy, I feel like it doesn't get on my face. It kind of just flies off the brush. So I just picked this up from Target. This is the e.l.f. bronzer palette. I've heard some good things about this, so when I was looking for bronzer, I decided I would try it. So let me go ahead and open it, since this is the very first time. I like how these aren't like orange. They're kind of like cool toned bronzers. Oh, and you got a little mirror up in here. Alright, so I'm going to take this top corner one. It's the one, this one's a little shimmery, but this one's matte. I'm going to pick that one up. And this is a MAC 168 brush. This is kind of reminding me of the Too Faced chocolate bronzers. It doesn't smell like them, but Whatever's kind of left over on the brush, I'm just gonna graze it along the jawline here. Taking this darker shade, I'm also going to bronze up the forehead. Take a little bit of that lighter shade, I'm just gonna run it along the bottom of my nose. And just taking a blending brush, this is the Sigma All Over Blend E37, and I'm picking up that lightest bronzer in this e.l.f. book, and I'm just gonna do a little nose contour, just running it down the sides of my nose. Alright, so now I'm going to add a little bit of blush. This is the NYX blush in shade Hamptons. And just taking my Bobbi Brown blush brush, I'm just doing a small amount onto the apples of my cheeks. This is just like a baby pink little blush, just to give our cheeks a little life. For a special occasion like prom, I kind of go a little heavy on the blush just because it's kind of the first thing that wears off, especially if you're dancing, things like that. All right, and now we're going to move on to brows. I picked up the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. And the reason why I picked this is because I actually overheard a Target employee talking to a customer about this. She was like, it's the closest that we have here to Anastasia Brow Wiz. And I overheard that and I was like, okay. So it's the Brow Stylist Definer, and the shade that I got is in Brunette. All right, so just like Brow Wiz, it has the spoolie at the end. And then it has like that tiny little pencil at the top. It literally is like the same size as Brow Wiz. It's funny, it actually kind of looks like it too. So I'm just gonna fill my brows in. Just underlining, and then I'm just gonna flick some brow hairs up. I mean, this is only my first time using it, so I can't like swear by it or anything, but I'm actually really digging it. So this eyebrow pencil is actually an amazing eyebrow pencil. I am actually really surprised how easily it glided on, and I'm just curious to see how much product. Okay, so you get about the same that you probably do with Brow Wiz, but I believe that this was like $7. I still would prefer Brow Wiz, but this comes to a close second for sure. The formula is really good. It's easy to blend out. The spoolie is really good. It kind of like evenly distributes the product if you have any streaky areas, which I really like. So I think this is a pretty good alternative to Brow Wiz. So I just primed my eyelids with a little bit more concealer just to create more of an eyeshadow base. And now I'm going to go into this NYX eyeshadow palette. Alright, so you got a couple really good transition shades. Like these three right here could be really good transition shades for the crease. And then it comes with some cool brown tones in here, a really nice shimmery light yellow. You could probably highlight the brow bone with that one. Nice white you can also highlight the brow bone with, or the inner corner. And a nice like petal pink for the lid. I just thought this was like totally screamed prom shades. So as long as you have like a bone eyeshadow, a transition shade, a brown, and a lid color, that palette is probably perfect at the drugstore for prom. So yeah, let's jump on into eyeshadow. So taking a fluffier blending brush, I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's just a kind of like a peachy light taupe. And I'm just gonna work that into the upper crease. Just doing windshield wiper motions and circular motions, just blending that up. Working it to the brow bone, but not all the way. This is actually kind of like peach smoothie from Makeup Geek. So I'm just going into this white bone colored eyeshadow. And I'm picking this up on a MAC 239 brush. Packing that below that brow, so right on the brow bone. So now I'm going to go into the lower crease. I'm going to pick up this cool brown shade here, right up here in the top, and I'm using a MAC 217 brush, so just a smaller blending brush. And I'm just going to target that into the lower crease and then just do back and forth motions with this brush. Keeping it pretty low, you don't want to go too high with all that dark. So with these kind of eyeshadows, you really do have to layer the product or else it's really not going to show up. So I'm just going to go ahead and just layer and layer and layer until I get my desired crease color. So if you want it pretty dark, you can go in straight with that dark color and just try to blend it out slowly. But you don't want to pick up too much product because you don't want it to look muddy or be too streaky. So you want to pick up little by little and then just work your way up. Now I'm going to go into that darker brown and see if I can just deepen that up a little bit more. Alright, here we go. Yum. Just doing windshield wiper motions and circular motions. I'm really not picking up the brush too much. I'm just moving the product around. Alright, and just taking an eyeshadow brush, I'm going to go into this petally pink eyeshadow in here. And I'm just going to pack that all over the lid. And I'm even going to take a little bit of that bone eyeshadow color. So that whiter color, and I'm just going to pack that on there too. Alright, so I'm going to take a little bit of that lighter brown that we used in the lower crease, not the dark brown, but the lighter one. I'm going to pick that up on a pencil brush. This is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. And I'm just going to add that onto the lower lash line. Now I'm going to take a little bit of that darker brown shade on that same pencil brush and then just line that along my waterline as well. Oh. So I applied my winged eyeliner off camera, but I used the e.l.f. liquid liner in black. And now I'm going to take my Great Lash mascara from Maybelline, and I'm just going to do a coat on my top and bottom lashes. Alright, so next I'm using the Ardell Demi Wispy lashes. This is a really pretty natural lash. They're not too dramatic. If you want them to be dramatic, what I've done in the past is I actually buy 2 pairs and then I stack them, and then they just look nice and thick and like all kind of different lengths. It's actually really pretty lash. I tend to go more for like dramatic lashes, but for like a prom tutorial, I was thinking to tone it down a little bit. So just coming from up, I'm just gonna place this on my lash. If you need a more in-depth tutorial on how to put on lashes, I'll link that down in the description box below. I just did one, so I will link that in case any of you need a little extra help putting on your false lashes. Alright, this part was pretty challenging. Trying to find a highlighter at a drugstore or somewhere that just sells drugstore makeup. It was so hard to find an illuminator. So let's try it out. I haven't used it so far. I'm just gonna put my fan brush in here. This is just a Crown Brush Deluxe Soft Fan Brush. Oh my gosh, this is actually a really good highlighter. This is the True Match Lumi Powder Glow Illuminator. I'm just going to place that on the high points of my face as well as the tip of my nose. So I like this so much, I popped a little bit onto the inner corners of my eye as well. And I went a little heavy on the Cupid's bow. Looks like I have like a white highlighter mustache, but that's okay. This is definitely my favorite thing that I've used today. Oh show. So now I'm going to finish off this look using the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and this is in shade Stockholm. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this prom makeup tutorial. I was so impressed with the L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Definer and the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Powder Glow Illuminator. This is like the True Match collection. So L'Oreal Paris is just killing it. And yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial and can picture yourself wearing this to prom. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in my next video.